What's up, Nail Geeks, and welcome back to another BKL video. I am pumped for this collection. I'm sure you've seen the buzz, pun intended. For this month's inspiration, we have none other than the video game Elden Ring. If you're unfamiliar with this particular game, or if you're not a gamer in general, Elden Ring is part of, I should say, grouped together with a very specific type of play style, typically called the Souls type games. And they're pretty damn difficult. They're hard, I will say. It takes a lot of strategy in order to traverse and navigate all that good stuff. They're so rich in lore and story. So it's no wonder to me why this game spoke to Sarah so much. High fantasy seems to be BKL's muse, and I'm always about that. So essentially, long story short, Elden Ring is this wonderful lore-filled video game, and it's actually a collaboration between none other than the author of the Song of Ice and Fire. It's been a minute since I've read the books. I mean, a hot minute. I read them, I think, when my oldest, 12 years ago, was a baby. I used to hold him and rock him, and he was one of those Velcro babies that I could not put down for his naps. So I just bought a really comfy rocking chair, and since he was my only one at the time, I just read books. I read so many books. So the entire series, I read for that. I know we're supposed to be getting another one of these days, but I have forgotten so many of the details, and it was so many details in that series. But anyways, that author collabed with this game. So we've got some twists and turns and beautiful characters, all kinds of fun stuff like that. This collection is going to have a part 2 in July. So we'll have part 1 right now, and we'll have part 2. I will have all the launch information and details at the end of this video in the recap section. And per usual, we're going to have timestamps if you want to skip ahead. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We're going to start off with my top pick in the collection. This is Let's See Stars, inspired by the Jellyfish Sisters. Super sad. It's described as a rich, blurble base with strong blue shimmer. This polish is stunning, and I agree with that official description in that it is very blurble. My photos were pulling a touch blue, adjusting my lighting situation and whatnot. I think I got it a little more representative to what you're seeing on the video. I do think the video portion of the swatch is more color accurate to what I'm seeing in person. It's luminous, the shimmer complements it so ridiculously well, and it has a very creamy, smooth formula. I'm going to suggest 2 normal coats or 3 lighter coats if you prefer a plumper finish like myself. It does dry down semi-flat, so I think any glossy top coat is perfect. Torrent is described as a mix between gray and taupe with silver to blue metallic shimmer. If you don't know, Torrent is the mount in the game. Anyways, it's a magical creature, and I think the shimmer matches up really well with it. I would describe the base to Torrent as being a true neutral color. It's definitely got that taupe type of pull, but I can see it's got that grayed out appearance too. Because of that, if you are warm undertoned like myself, I think this will pull almost nude to you. Just going to depend on your undertone, skin tone, all that good stuff. Now, moving forward in the video, anything that is described as being light or sheer or anything like that, if I see that it's possibly warrant a blurring base coat, we're going to see it with Phantom. Personally, I wouldn't really warrant a blurring base coat with this one, but I could see through my falsies just a little bit in the brightest part of my lighting situation, so I figured we'll just include it for that comparison's sake. Praise the Dog is inspired by the tortoises of Limgrave, and this is described as a sheer grayed out blue with strong pink to gold to green microflake shimmer. Now this is one that is definitely sheer, true to its official description. You will see a touch of your peekaboo smile line if you have a prominent free edge or really any free edge. I don't think this is the most sheer we've seen thus far, but it's going to be there. So wearing it on its own, it's soft, and the shimmer is what just catches your eye's attention the most. It's just strikingly beautiful and shifty. There's an easy shift between pink and gold. Wearing it with Phantom will give you that bolder type of appearance, more opacity, of course, but your choice. Overall, in shaded lighting, this is really going to just play up with the color roll of the shimmer. Get Lobstered is described as a sheer grayed out purple with strong green to blue microflake shimmer. This one's what I would consider a distant cousin to Praise the Dog in that it's got a magical, very loud shimmer-like appearance. It is on the sheer side, or rather on the softer side, but it felt a touch more curly-like than, say, Praise the Dog. So here I also took it up to 3 coats across the board, the entire collection. Passed my 3-coat test. I think all of these did really well on the 3rd coat because you're maximizing how much special effect comes out on your nails. Get Lobstered looks great with Phantom as your base if you wanted to wear it this way. Either way, it looks great. And just for the record, I chose to show each of the ones that I used with Phantom. You're seeing 3 thin coats over Phantom. And this Is Cailead is described as a rich scarlet base with strong green to purple microflake shimmer. It does state in our PR information this may stain. I personally did not have staining on my falsies, so just throwing that out there. Cailead is what I would describe as a bit of an interesting minx to me in person. I know this was going to skew a little bit because it's red and that's my Achilles heel for color accuracy, but to me, it looks like if you've ever made a dish with any type of like roasted tomato and you blended up a chili pepper with it, I'm thinking like birria, something like that. That's what that red looks like. It's like a chili type of red to me. I don't know, just food reference. Both with and without Phantom, it looks fantastic. The shimmer is so strong in this. I honestly really enjoyed this one, despite the overall warm undertones to it with that shimmer. I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. Cailead did dry down on the flat side. Might want to finish with something plumper for your top coat. And here's my second pick in the set. This is Where Am I? Described as a new emerald to blue to purple multichrome that shifts red to orange at the most extreme angles. This is so shifty in person. Now, to me, it's got a dominant purpley, emerald, green, and blue shift, and there is that lovely reddish type of cast at the most extreme angles. I'm looking at the bottle right here in front of me, and I am seeing it's like this orange type of glow. It's really interesting. Now, that orangey reddish appearance, you're only going to see that when you've got your nails at the most extreme angles, like when your hand is facing you sort of thing. This has a really rich formula, and I think 2 normal, maybe 3 thin coats was perfect, but to me, I stopped at 2 normal coats for me. I tend to apply a little heavy-handed, and it was perfect. No issues with streaking or anything like that, but because it is a multi-chrome, you'll want to finish with a good glossy top coat as it dries down very metallic and flat. Maidenless is described as a sheer purple with strong gold to green to blue microflake shimmer. It does state in our PR info that this might dry with a touch of texture, so you might want to finish with a glitter smoothing top coat. I agree with that. I think this had just the tiniest bit of thirstiness. I wouldn't classify it as a gritty type of texture, but the shimmer itself felt like shimmer particle, so no issues there, but it's just thirsty. I personally did not finish with a glitter smoothing top coat. I went in with a thicker layer of my glossy top coat that is habitually getting a little bit on the goopier side just because I swatch with it so much and the bottle's usually opened. Maidenless looks beautiful with Phantom. You're going to get that more pinky sort of effect when you thin it out like that. But to me, I think because of the sheerness of it, it's going to pull a touch pinker, if that makes sense. It is on the somewhat warmer side for a pink, so I think it'll also play up with your undertones. I think 3 light coats and a glossy top coat is perfect. And here we've got the Golden Path. This is a new lion cousin, described as a dark gold base with gold to green shimmer and a ton of hollow flakes. If you're new to BKL in general, what she means by lion cousin is that there was a PPU polish quite some time ago that had this specific shimmer to it. We all loved it. It's a cult favorite, but it's in such a demand that she's made multiple other siblings to it using that specific shimmer. The Golden Path is lovely. I personally did not show this to you all with Phantom as I thought it built up really nice to opacity. I thought 3 coats and a glossy top coat was enough. I couldn't super see through my falsies, so I didn't feel like it warranted Phantom. Lastly, we've got Nokstella. This is a new pink lion cousin. Speaking of, Described as a mid-toned purple base with pink to gold to green shimmer and a ton of hollow flakes. So pretty and delicate. I really like finishes like this, and it builds very nice. This is another one that I thought very similar to the Golden Path. I saw quite a bit of opacity when I went to that third coat, so I didn't see the need to bust out Phantom and show, because it's almost like there's so much flaky and hollow action happening here. It's almost like a pseudo opacity, even if you have a strong visible nail line. It dried down semi-flat, so any top coat's perfect. And in shaded lighting, you're gonna have more of that shimmer appearance. In sunshine, easy holographic action from those large type of hollow flakes. And we're gonna avoid that game over with the Willet Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. For the most part, these all pass the test. Let's See the Stars is a touch Cailead-like, though it works and it looks beautiful over black. I personally think you're dulling it and not doing it justice. Torrent and the other softer type of colors work very well. Just know in person, you can see a touch of their respective base colors. And then same thing here. Praise the Dog was just ridiculous over black. I think a lot of these you can absolutely play up, especially because their base colors, these lighter ones, that is, have more neutral types of bases. So yes, in person, I could slightly see it on the black swatch stick, but I think you could get away with a little bit of color theory in how you're working with it. I think Cailead kind of showed you that right there. These last couple here really passed the test. I almost felt like if I didn't see the actual swatch itself first and I saw it over black, or rather toppered, I would have believed that these were toppers respectively. So of course they work. And in my experience thus far working on BKL polishes, I feel like all of the Lion cousins work just ridiculously well over black or any other respective color. Those were absolutely beautiful. I feel like this collection embodies BKL. I know we've seen a lot of outside the box type finishes and stuff the last probably release or two. And I feel like this set, like, they're beautiful. And you don't even have to be a gamer to appreciate the inspirations and their finishes and you know how well they match with said inspirations. But this set is stunning. Just full disclosure, I do have most of part 2 with me here. So I will have those next month to show you all too. But those are beautiful too. This whole set is just stunning, very dreamy, and so freaking BKL, if I had to just put to words the way I feel about them. They're so pretty, so shimmery, beautiful. So we've got a release date coming up this coming Friday, actually. The standard disclaimer for the shimmers goes that we saw the last couple of months, also goes for these, in that they do have double the shimmer than what is normally there. And you may see some little specks in the super shimmer ones, but it's no issue. I personally didn't have any problems with the shimmers either. So just wanted to throw that out there as it is in our PR information. There is not going to be a full collection option, unfortunately, for the part 1 set at this time, but there is going to be a 15% off sale on the entire store. So may our wallets survive this pre-order. The launch is going to start June 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. There's going to be no limits on what customers can purchase, and the pre-order is going to end June 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. There is a soft cap on items. So the last couple of months I've mentioned a soft cap for BKL launches. All that means is what's on hand is 1,000 bottles of each color. If it goes over that much, then it'll just switch over to pre-order. So no need to get super worried or anything. There's plenty of stock to go around, all that. There are going to be overpours from the Heartless Hunter / the Crimson Moth and a Tempest of Tea mystery bags will also be available. Lots and lots of pretty stuff. I'm going to link you all below to Bees Knees Lacquer's Instagram page, where you'll see all updates from the brands and all that good stuff. When you go onto the website, if you've never shopped BKL before, go on the website and subscribe to their newsletter. If they have any flash sale information or any flash restock, stuff like that, it's totally worth it to be subscribed to the newsletter. As far as I know, or I'm pretty sure it's really only like 1, maybe 2 emails a month. So it's not super spammy or anything, just straight information from the maker themselves. So I'm going to have that link in the description box below. And let me know in the comment section below, did you play Elden Ring? What did you think of it? Did you get frustrated with it? Did any of the inspirations resonate with you? If not, let me know if you have read the George R.R. Martin Song of Ice and Fire books. Also, were you disappointed with the Game of Thrones ending? I was. Anyways, as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.